Good morning, my dear students. Today we will study about the plant transportation. Transportation in plants. So, in transportation in plants means the plants cannot have the organ system. They have only vessels, tissues, and cells. So what will happen without organ systems like the animals, they have to, the transportation will be done only with the help of the xylem vessels and the phloem vessels. So here the xylem vessels are carrying the, xylem is carrying the water from root to up to the top of the leaf, up to the tip region. And the phloem vessels, they are taking the food materials, they are transporting the food materials from top of the plant, that is from leaves to the root system. So here xylem and phloem, these two are the main important transport mechanisms or transport tissues in the plants, and they are called as vascular bundles. They are also called as vascular bundles. And see, when the transportation is going on, then what will happen? For example, let us consider this is the cell, and this is the cell membrane. Cell has the cell wall as well as cell membrane. So what will happen? For example, cell is not allowing all the substances inside. Some of the proteins will be remaining outside the cell. Some proteins are remaining outside the cell. So these proteins will be carried by means of their pores. They are called as porins. They are called as porins. So through these porins, the materials or proteins will be going into the cell. So porins means they are the proteins, and these proteins will be going into the cell. And not only that, these porins are also made up of proteins. And another one is, mostly these porins are present in mitochondria and in some plastics and bacteria. Some cells of the bacteria, mitochondria and the plastics, the cell wall is having the porins. And mostly we are prepared, or they are made up of proteins, and these proteins are allowing the bigger molecules of proteins into the cell. And next we have to study about the water potential. So for water potential, the pressure of the water is called water potential. So for pure water, the water potential is 0. For pure water, that means without any impurities, if the water is pure, then the potentiality of the water is 0. That means the pressure of the water is 0. So here, if this one is water potential is related to osmosis and diffusion. While you are studying about the osmosis and diffusion, you have to note the point for potential, water potential. And for example, now we will study about the osmosis. What is osmosis and what is diffusion? What osmosis means, the water molecules are moving from low concentrated place to high concentrated place. That means, for example, let us consider this is the beaker, and in this beaker we are keeping the water, we are pouring the water, and in this water we are putting the kismis into the beaker. Then what will happen? After some time the beaker, the water inside the beaker will go into the kismis, and the size of the kismis increases. So here what will happen? In the kismis, inside the kismis, the water is low concentrated. Here it is high concentrated. So here what will happen? From low concentration to high concentration, the water will be entering. So that process is called as osmosis. And diffusion means the air passes from high concentration to low concentration. So here high concentration to low concentration means, for example, this is a room. In this room we are keeping this is a beaker. In this beaker we are pouring the water, and we are dipping the potassium permanganate crystal. This potassium permanganate violet color. Potassium permanganate is a violet color and completely the water will be changing into violet color. So what will happen? Higher concentration to lower concentration, the water molecules are moving. So that process is called as diffusion. So diffusion and osmosis, there is a small difference between this one. Osmosis means molecules moving from low concentration to high concentration, whereas in diffusion, molecules are moving from high concentration to low concentration. So in osmosis, what will happen? The semi-permeable membrane. So the semi-permeable membrane is needed for osmosis. So without semi-permeable membrane, the water molecules cannot move from low concentration to high concentration. So that is the difference between osmosis and diffusion. And again we have to study about the differences between symplast and epoplast. So water molecules are moving from epoplast and symplast. The difference between this one is, for example, let us consider this is the cell. In this cell, the water molecules are moving from one cell to another cell, one cell to another cell, one cell to another cell. So like that the water is going on and passing on to one cell to another cell. So epoplast means water is going without crossing the membrane. So what, for example, let us consider this is the water is entering like this. So without crossing the membrane, water is passing like this. In between the cells, the water will be passing like this. So without crossing membrane, the water is passing, then that process is called as epoplast. In the symplast, what will happen? Water molecules are going by crossing the membrane, entering, and again crossing the membrane, going to the next cell, like that. So symplast means water is going by crossing the cell membrane from one cell to another cell. Whereas in epoplast, water molecules are not going like this. So in between the cells, intercellular plexus, they are going like this, from one cell to another cell. So here it is not going into the cell. So in between the cells, intercellular places, they are going. So that process is called epoplast, and if they are crossing from cell membrane, then it is called as symplast. So epoplast is a faster process, whereas symplast is a slower process. So these two are the differences between epoplast and symplast. And again we have to study about the guttation. Guttation, the most important point is guttation. What is guttation? Guttation means loss of water from leaves. Mostly, for example, let us say this is a leaf of a plant. This is leaf of a plant. Then what will happen? Transpiration means water is going, water vapors are going through the stomata, water vapors are going. That process is called as transpiration. Whereas guttation means water is going outside the plant through the leaves by means of droplets. So that process is called as guttation. So loss of water from leaves in the liquid form is called as the guttation. So they are asking some questions. They are asking what is the difference between guttation and transpiration. In transpiration, what will happen? Water is going through the leaf in the form of water vapors. Whereas here in guttation process, water is going from the leaf in the form of liquid form. And not only that, it is uncontrolled process. Transpiration means it is a controlled process, whereas guttation is a uncontrolled process. So this is the difference between transpiration and guttation. So transpiration means loss of water in the form of water vapor. So in the form of water vapor. Whereas here